Hey everybody, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Homeschool and welcome back to our Homeschool 180. We are vlogging through our entire homeschool year, sharing with you guys how we quite literally homeschool using our free Bible-based, minimally minded homeschool curriculum. So I'm going to share with you guys today how we do reading and writing for our big kids. So reading and writing in those elementary years, this is how we do it. Look who is up and feeling good this morning. Hi, buddy. He was already standing up this morning. We didn't even have to get him up. And as soon as we opened the kennel, he came out and came cruising over here. Girls, leave him be. He gets going a little too much and he still falls.
Yeah,
but
he runs, he'll fall.
Hey, buddy. Look at you. He wants to get under the barbecue.
And then that even be too much.
Hey, buddy.
Maybe it's because of all those days of resting.
Yeah, that's why we put him in there so he could rest all by himself, nobody bugging him. His color and his comb and his waddles is looking good. Look how alert he is this morning. Hey, buddy.
A healthy chicken.
Yeah, he's looking good.
They're still pretty dark. Like, look, he's even
Look at him walking around.
Oh, texting the girl.
He just feels maybe more secure up against the house.
I feel secure.
Cool. Look at you, Nurse Lily. Your chicken's doing good.
Yep.
Your rooster's looking better.
I had to take him home. He's like 98% right now.
Yeah, he's getting there.
He's still falling when he's running.
Yeah, we gotta watch him. Don't want him to overdo it. Oh, get a little wobbly. He's getting a little wobbly. Jesse, look out. Jesse, look out. Leave him be, Jesse. Cheetah, what are you doing?
That's not Cheetah.
Oh, Mitchell, sorry. I thought you were a cheetah. It's almost like you look just like her. Buddy, I am so glad you're feeling better. Look at you. Can we help y'all?
They're hungry.
All right. Feed these birds. They think they're dying. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Look at him. He's even coming out. Oh, he knows they're getting fed. He's interested. You gonna try to go over there, buddy? We'll feed you separately still. You don't have to try to fight with everyone to eat. Yeah, we'll still feed you separately, buddy. You don't have to get in all that. Alright guys, not every day is a total win. Got the floors picked up, soft music playing, countertops have not been cleared, dishes have not been loaded up, but at least the table's clean. So, see, I don't get everything every day, but we're working on it. We're getting there. Table is ready though. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do for Lily's school, and then I will bring her back in here and we'll get to work. Alrighty, so Miss Lily, our big kid, she is outside playing right now, but I'm going to show you guys how we do reading and writing with her. In our free homeschool plans, we have activities every day. So you can print these out, you can get the professionally printed and bound book at our website, whatever is best for you. And every day there is scripture to be read, which I shared yesterday in that video. One chapter from the Old Testament, one chapter from the New Testament, and then a psalm in this first year. This first year we will go through 17 books of the Bible. Super exciting. So once we've read that scripture together, we come to the PDF. And here in our workbook, there is stuff to discuss, stuff to go over, reading and understanding these various different topics. But then every day is a little different. Not every day is exactly the same, but then there are little writing prompts, topics of discussion, activities, and things to do based off of the scripture we've read that day. So like this one, go to Galatians chapter 3 and 4, read through those chapters in light of what you read above about these people and God's plan. Discuss this with your family. What can you take away from your lesson? With a spot then there to add about it. Look back at Psalm 16. Did you catch verse 10? What or who is the psalmist talking about? Look at that. And going through these just different areas and discussing them. So every day there will be some level of something that they're working on through this. Then there's also a verse or 2 or 3, depending on what it is, to copyright. Copywriting, I don't think is necessarily always our kids' favorite thing. Some kids like it more than others, but I think there's a lot to be learned from using the skill of copywriting. I've done the thing where they had spelling words that they had to memorize. We did spelling tests like a normal school situation. I found a lot of problems with it. And so the more I started to look at how we learn to spell and to know these words, it's through reading good literature and applying it. And so that's when I started introducing copywriting to our kids. For the younger kids during the elementary school years, they have to copyright a verse or 2. They can write it down. Sometimes it helps if I spell the words out to them instead of them. I notice my kids get really frustrated when they're constantly having to go back and forth to it. So sometimes it's right on there. Sometimes I will say the letters out and help them spell it as they are going. We kind of play with that and work with that. If there's a day where they just do not want to copyright whatsoever, we'll knock it down. We'll do 1 verse instead of 3 or whatever is recommended for the day. So I'm flexible with that and figuring out what is the best for my kids, but I feel like they learn so well with that. And when they get older, we switch over to dictation, where I will dictate the scripture that we are and let them write it down to put these skills to the test and see if there's any words that they missed, and then they can practice them to learn them. And it just works really well. So that's what we do. Every day they also, I shared with you guys a little bit on Monday's video, which I guess you would have seen on Tuesday, but how we do their free writing. Every day, just getting them to practice putting pen to paper and writing things. Let them set the timer and see how many words that they can write in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and let them just get words onto the paper. And that activity of getting words from in their mind, down their hand, to the paper, can really be fun. Even if they just write the same word over and over, they just write their name, they just write, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever done, I don't like doing this," whatever it is, put words on the paper. And we use a multi-tab notebook for each kid, and then they have a tab for their free writing. So Lily each day, she only got 16 words, and now if you go to her more recent one, she took up multiple pages and had 88 words. So already oh my gosh, that's not even the most. Okay, then she's got 78 here. So when she's all done, I let her count all of her words and we see how many she's gotten. And then each time she can try to beat her own high score. So copywriting in our daily activity with scripture, free writing, taking the time just to get words on paper. And then weekly we do writer's tea time. We love writer's tea time. I definitely love Julie Bogart, a brave writer, has an amazing philosophy that's very spot on as far as working with writing with our kids. And then we also will be going through, starting in month 2, an old book. I can't remember the year it was published. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But again, just kind of making sure as a family we are covering the core principles and rules of writing to make sure we are implementing those as we go. I also have resources for free grammar lessons if you feel like you need to have those workbooks and those things. I honestly have just found that in just writing with my kids and working with this stuff and learning in a very real life application way, that they learn and they understand those concepts so much better than when I was making them just drill over and over and over again in a workbook. So real life application is definitely my jam. On writer's tea time, every Tuesday. And I love so many of you who are using our program have been tagging me in pictures and sharing them on our Facebook group. I love seeing all of them. Absolutely love it. But every Tuesday is Writer's Tea Time. And so daily they do the little copywriting and the free writing activity, again, just so they're working with letters, making words, doing that. Tuesdays are Writer's Tea Time. That is our writer focus. We all sit down at the table together. We have a baking activity that we do. So we've baked some fresh, yummy treat, and then, which is giving them, that's math and science and real world skill all together. And then we make some cocoa or tea or cider or whatever it is that you enjoy drinking. We all sit down at the table together, even mom, dad, all of us who are there sit down at the table. And each week we have some type of writing activity. So making a silly story, putting together something. They're learning skills in with that, but in a fun activity. I have found that it takes so much pressure off when we do that activity if mom's the one who's writing it down, or dad, or whoever, grandma, whoever's doing it with them. But if you're the one writing it down, it takes the pressure off of them, of having to have everything just right and do all of this stuff. And instead they can focus on actually forming the story and forming sometimes it's letters or different activities. But if you're writing it, they're helping and just getting all the information out. They dictate it to you. Hold please, we got a surprise lunch delivery. I have to go grab that. Alrighty, that was awesome. So, kids reading, I'll try to wrap this up. Daily writing, they do free write and copyright. Learn so much from that. Weekly, we do a writing activity together with our Writer's Tea Time. Love Writer's Tea Time. All of my kids love it. We do the activity together, that there is a prompt in our writing plans, or our little booklet plans to do. There's a prompt to work off of. Once we get done doing that, it isn't super long, anything like that. It's just a little prompt to get it started, and then I just leave the table open for the remainder of our time. I usually try to block out 2 hours in the afternoon for our family activity, and the kids just write. They just write whatever they want to write. If they want to write letters, I'm thinking about putting together a pen pal group, so stay on the lookout for that. But they write whatever they want to write. They can write stories, whatever they want to work on, they can do that. I will stay at the table. Daddy will stay at the table. We all write together. Just write things. And they learn so much. I like to be there so that way if they have questions, they're not sure how to work something out, they need a little bit of help. My son, my kid who has hated writing his whole life now wants to write books. So he wants help. Every time for years, I have tried to sit down and make him do like essay writing curriculum. No go. It's awful. Now he is so passionate about wanting to write historical fiction. And so he's like, Mom, I need help. Like I have these ideas in my head, but as far as like formatting and putting it together, like I'm struggling. I said, all right, buddy, we can sit down and do that together. So we'll sit down, he lays out the book that he wants to do. I start helping him and putting it together. They're amazing stories. But now that he has a passion and an interest in something he wants to do, all of those like core things and those, foundational things of putting together a paper and an essay, now all of those he's eager and interested to learn about because he has a reason for it. So I see so much success in that. So that's what we do for our writing, and it just works really, really well. My kids enjoy it. We learn so much. I think it's great. And we'll have different activities, especially with the teens. I really like to focus on practical application things, but we'll get into that next week when we work on his stuff. When it comes to reading, every day, I recommend that Lily spends, I think 15 or 20 minutes. Kind of depends on your kids' reading ability, but they need to spend time reading, just independent reading. I recommend Sunlight. If you're looking for a book list, I don't require my kids to read any certain books. I find way more success when my kids are interested in what they're reading about. I don't do reading reports, reading tests, anything like that. I just read the same book that my kids are reading, and then that way I can just talk to them about it. Or it works so well. If they're struggling to read, I let them listen to the audiobook. Most of them you can find free online on YouTube, but I let them listen to the audiobook while they're reading it to help them. So Lily has we love Little House on the Prairie, which you guys are going to see, but Mr. Garvey, he ended up doing a separate show, Father Murphy, and we found this book at a thrift store, and Lily was like, I have to read that book because it's Mr. Garvey from Little House on the Prairie. So she's reading this book, Father Murphy's Promise. And then she has this book that a friend lent to her about cats, because if you know anything about Lily, she loves cats. So she spends time each day just doing her independent reading. And again, we just discuss these things as she goes along. And then as a family, we are reading the Little House on the Prairie series throughout this entire school year. So in month 1, I had it where just one day was our literature focus. Honestly, for our family, that was just way too much to try to cram into one day. So in month 2, you're going to see a slight change, which we're getting ready to start. So that's kind of where we're at. But every day, can you guys help the baby, please?
She's fine. She just upset that she has no food.
Well, then give her some food. That's helping the baby.
Oh, okay.
Like, help the baby. And they're like, oh no, she's fine. She's upset that she ran out of food. So every evening we sit down and we read one chapter of our family read aloud. I think even when you have older kids that are totally good at reading, to have a read aloud, I think is still so enjoyable. I'm trying to finish going through your stuff real quick. So we are going through the Little House on the Prairie series. We are in Farmer Boy, and every evening, Monday through Thursday, we read one chapter, and then that gives us Friday if we need to catch up on anything, because sometimes stuff happens and we don't get to it. But one chapter a day of a family read aloud. Even for our older kids, like our son, he loves listening to these stories because we love Little House on the Prairie, so them reading the books is just super cool. Again, the focus just being about bringing family together and putting a priority on the home and our relationships with one another. And I want that to be something that we have to have home in order. We have to have our relationships with one another in order, and that makes such a difference in how we are when we go out into the world. And so I want to make sure that we are doing things this year to support that focus. Did you give her more food?
Yeah.
So anyways, reading and writing, that is what we are doing for our big kids. So we'll go sit down in there so Lily can start doing these activities, and we can show you guys quite literally how it works for us. All right, so we went through and did the writing activities out of that. Lily has set her timer on her phone, and she is working hard to see how many words she can get written down. Yeah, you're getting quicker every day, huh? So she will finish writing that, and then when she counts up all of her words at the end, well, it's okay. We'll get better at that. Right now, it's just important that we're getting them on the paper. So she's going to do this, and then she will have her copywriting to do. I think it's in Matthew that she's copywriting today. And then you can go sit down and spend some time reading. So these little activities sometimes might come with some opposition. Like first when we started this, Lily loves this timed free writing activity so much. She's on like page 4 of writing words and still going. I'm like, Lily, I think we're giving you too much time. I think we should probably tone this down. And she's like, absolutely not. keep going. I said we'd start at 1 minute and then go up a minute every day until we got to about as many minutes as they are old. So for you, we only needed to get up to about 8 minutes or so. I know, but you were enjoying it so much, I felt bad to stop you. But every day she just adds an additional minute. But she loves it and she won't stop. And she just writes more and more and more. So how can I get upset at that? It's so windy outside. And you are doing so good. So she is still writing and writing and writing. Eventually she'll be done and she can count up her words, which I'm sure there's going to be tons of because she's filled up like 4 pages. So reading and writing every day. The writing activities, whatever writing that we had in our workbook, our worksheet here. And again, that's free on our website and it's different every day. Yes, you have to read. And then
Crossout has lots of reading in it.
So writing activity for this, a copywriting verse. Every once in a while there's a day without a copywriting activity just based off of how much work the worksheet had. So today she's got to copyright Matthew 16:24 through 27. Sometimes there are also prompts in the daily activities of things that they could write about in this free writing. She loves just writing every word she can think of, so I just let her go on with that. But Travis, our older one, he, in his free writing, which you'll see next week with him, he usually really enjoys the prompts and kind of having a topic to kind of journal about and talk about. So I try to leave that open so you can tailor it to fit, what works best for your kiddo. And maybe that might even change throughout the year. So this is what she does for her writing. I've shared with you guys our writer's tea time before, so you can even go back and look, and we'll continue to share that. But that's, that we sit down all together with the family. Love writer's tea time. And then she will go curl up wherever she wants to sit and relax and read a book for a little while. And sometimes she even pulls like audiobooks or books on her phone or tablet or something, and that's really fine too. You're still going? Oh my goodness. Words. When all else fails, go to cat. Goat.
Cow.
Daddy, she will not. Oh, timer. All right.
I should have wrote time is up.
Time is up. All right. Go through your like 6 pages. Oh my gosh, you did all of that today? All right, count them up, kiddo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Oh, no, not 97. 98, 99. 100!
You did 100 words today.
I was waiting for that moment one day when I would get 100. Whoa.
That's pretty awesome.
I was just...
You've been getting closer and closer. I knew you'd break it. High five. 100 words. Oh, trying to do a second high five.
100 times.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Yes.
All right. Very good job. You did great. Now, underneath that open space, just do your copyright right down there. And then you can go sit down and do your reading. You did a very good job.
Cross out has reading.
What's cross out? A game. No, you have to read a book. Nope, have to read a book. You can read extra when you do that. All right. You did a great job, Lily.
Did she get him? Stop.
He was pecking at Buddy earlier today.
Stop.
No, that's not nice, Rooster. Don't be mean to Buddy.
Buddy,
Zoe,
Buddy.
calm down.
Look, he's like the cleanest rooster here. See? He's all nice. Do it.
Okay, don't fill the part with me putting him down.
Okay.
Because that's...
Now,
Doing that trick. Get back. I can't see with the shadows. They just drew a line in the sand.
Zoe, wait. Was it rearrange
So-
his head? Oh. Oh God.
That is so weird how they do that.
I'm surprised he didn't attack us.
You sit them down.
He was by me.
Yeah, you set them down and you draw a line in the sand and they will just sit there. Lily should have let it stay for a little bit longer, but they will just sit there completely mesmerized by that line.
I can't walk the line no more.
And then you mess the line up and they'll jump up.
And they're just like, no,
Yeah,
no, not my line.
it's a fun little
My
chicken
precious
trick.
line.
All right,
Next
say
one,
goodbye to everyone.
Bye. Larkin taught me that.
Larkin taught you that, fantastic.
Peace.
We have to go to the store and get stuff because tomorrow is your uncle's birthday and I make my brother a pumpkin pie for his birthday.
And Trav's making him cookies.
I don't know if we have stuff for that, so
Yes,
that
we
might
do.
not happen.
Trav wanted to make him oatmeal cookies. He was so excited to bake it with us. We could eat them. He could eat them and that.
Okay,
Oh, we're gonna get stuff for him.
we're gonna go do that stuff and then we will be back tomorrow sharing you guys more with how we homeschool for our big kid, Lily. They're off and running with the dog and the chickens. We will see you guys tomorrow.